Every time I'm trying to talk here, there's a guy trying to take me out. Hey guys, welcome to another video on my channel, and in today's video we are going to be doing something a little bit different. So this is going to have some live commentary and a bit of tutorial thrown into there as well. Many of you guys have been asking me as of late, should you get a Raijin or a Fujin? So I thought I'd do a video on this, sort of explaining the advantages, disadvantages of both, what I would personally pick. Again, this is just based on my own experience. Other players, may have different opinions on it. You also have to keep in mind who your opponents are and also what league you're in, because your opponents are going to be running different things than what I'm facing right now. But rest assured, when you do get up there into the higher level of play, you are most likely going to be running into pretty much what I'm seeing. So let's get started here. So in my hangar, I have 3 Fujins, 2 with Orkans, and the other one with the Tehran. And then I also have a Raijin with double Thunders. Before I actually get into some gameplay, there's a couple of things that I should mention too. So when it comes to the Raijin, the strongest builds for the Raijin when I last tested this bot was the Zeus, the Trident, and then Thunders. The game has since changed, the meta has changed, the Ansel has gotten incredibly stronger than what it was when I first tested this bot. Because of that, the Trident isn't really that effective in higher level play because the Ansel pretty much shuts you out. So really you're left with the Zeus and the Thunder. So I think what I might do is I might run a couple of games here where I run one with the Thunder and then the Zeus, and we can make a comparison. And when it comes to the Fujin, the same thing sort of applies. I once said that the Columbus was good, and it is. It can be deadly, but if you're going up against a lot of Ancelots, they completely shut you out. So I'm not going to be throwing that in. I do have the Tehran and the Orkan build, which I feel is the strongest right now for this bot. But let's go ahead and, before I kind of get into that, I'm going to show you guys, just a quick profile here, just to show you that everything is maxed out. This is on the live server. This is not on the test server. The bottom, or at least the top right, you can see that I am in Champion League 1. And I guess let's go ahead and we'll start a game. I may run 2 or 3 games depending on how things go. That loaded up pretty quick here. Okay, so for a map like this, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my Raijin first, and we will see how this goes. Again, I'm not expecting anything crazy here. And I'll kind of talk about the disadvantages of this bot. Okay, so the things that I don't like about the Raijin, keep in mind that, my Raijin is max speed. As you can tell, in comparison to the other bots that are in front of me, it's incredibly slow. In order to do damage with double Thunders, I need to get within, I would say, about 200, 300 meters at least to do any type of damage. It's going to take me a while to get, obviously, from point A to point B, which is what I really don't like about this bot. It just takes too long to get to where I need to be. And on top of that, just having 2 Thunders isn't really that much firepower. I think I rather prefer to run something like a Carnage with double Thunders instead. But we're going to see how well I do. Like I said, I need to get within range. Okay, they have a guy flanking. I can't really do anything about that. If he starts shooting me, I guess I could put my shield up, but that's going to be only temporary. So let's see if I can get any damage in. So this guy is in a Carnage Thunder. So this, I could actually do decent damage to him. But how practical is this in higher level play? As you can tell, I'm taking quite a lot of damage here. I'm probably going to get taken out before I manage to do any sort of damage to this guy, because I need to get close and I can't really do that. I think he's going to bust through my shield soon. There's a guy flanking me on the left side. By the time I won't even get into center, so he basically took me out. So while I can do a lot of damage, I do need to get close, and the problem with using that bot in particular is it just takes too long to get from point A to point B. For a map like this, you want to run Zeus. I think Zeus is really the better option. I know some players run Trebs, and the thing with Trebs is it takes so long to do maximum damage. You have to wait. After you fire your first round, you have to wait a full 23 seconds if you want to do maximum damage. So you have to keep that in mind too. The Fujin, which is what I'm running right now, what I like about this bot is that it moves a lot quicker than the Raijin. So I prefer that speed. Being able to get from point A to point B is a big deal for me, because you need to get beacons, and you can't win games if you don't get beacons. So the Raijin kind of lacks in that department. I'm going to see if I can get into range here. Something that I should also note that with something like the Raijin, you can block certain shots. It really depends on what it is though. Let me just deal with this guy here. So you can see there was a guy up top here. He can actually hit me because if I have my shield up, as you can see, his plasma, trying to see if I can hit him. Yeah, his plasma is going to kill me. Okay, we managed to take him out. So let's just go over the shields of these bots, because I think it's important to understand how these shields work. So first of all, with... Hold on. Every time I'm trying to talk here, there's a guy trying to take me out. So when it comes to using the shields of these bots, with the Raijin, it has a physical shield, so it can't block missiles and it can't block rockets. So if something like a death button jumps at me, more often than not, I'm going to get taken out. And because I move so slowly, I can't really dodge anything, so that puts me at a pretty big disadvantage. With the Fujin, when I go into Sentry mode, which is what you see right now, an energy shield activates around the bot. And the energy shield is great at blocking splash damage. So if someone fires rockets at me or missiles, so if it's like a Pinata, an Orkan, a Columbus, a Pin, Trident, that shield can block it provided that it's fully charged up. If it's depleted, obviously I'm going to get hit. And I'll show you kind of what I do when I do get hit and I don't have a shield left. It's basically you have to find an area where you have cover, and then you activate it so that it can charge back up and you are able to once again take damage. I'm going to see if I can actually get this guy here. Okay, there we go. So you see there's a guy hitting me. I'm just going to keep my Sentry locked on. I don't know what's up here though. Let's see. Okay, so there's a couple of guys here. So this is when you want to use it. And then what I do is I fire when they land, and then I can at least do some damage to them. So as you can see, when I'm in Sentry Shield now, I don't have any shield left because it got depleted after that engagement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here until it recharges all the way back up. And then once it's fully charged up, I will kind of move into position. There's a guy on the left side. I'm not sure what he's in, but I'm going to let this charge up just in case he has something like Orkans, because I want that shield to be fully charged. I'm going to be in trouble if I engage and he has something like Orkans or Thunders and I can't block it. Let's see if I can get within range. I'm going to go into a Sentry here just so that I can get some more height. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that's what I like about the Fujin. It's just, I think it works out better than the Raijin, just because you can get from point A to point B. There are disadvantages to it though. If you get hit by plasma and you're in Sentry mode, plasma weapons and energy weapons, so like a Zeus, a Gecko, Tehran Magnums and Trebuchet will go right through the shield, so it can't block that. But missiles and rockets it can block, so that's something that you need to take note of, because I think it's important. This is where just knowing, what your bot's capabilities is very important. So I think this guy on the right side has maybe a Carnage, a Trident or something. Could be wrong. There's a lot of action going on the left side there. I think I'm gonna lock on this guy. I'm not sure what he's in, but let's get him out of here. So I'm just gonna move back. I didn't activate my shield because the thing that I don't like about the Raijin and the Fujin is when you go into Bastion mode or Sentry mode, whichever it be, you are very committed and you can't back out. There's no jump. You know, you can back out, but you have to deactivate your shield and stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can get within 300 of this guy, because that's when I can actually do damage to him. Okay, there we go. That should finish him off, I think. I'm gonna go into a... yeah, so I went into a sentry mode. This guy's almost dead. There we go. I went into a sentry mode just to block his tridents. But yeah, on a map like this, especially when it's very open, I find the spider bots, even like whether it be the Raijin or the Fujin, I find them very vulnerable. Unless you are running something like Zeus on the Raijin, I think more often than not you're going to end up dying before you even get to where you need to be. Okay, so I think what I will do is I may run another game with these with the Thunder on the Raijin, because I want to give you guys sort of as much information as I can so that you guys can make the right decision. Let's see if I can get this guy. I'm scared to kind of drop my shield because this guy's waiting for me to do that. If I drop my shield, I managed to take him out. If I drop my shield, the one with aphids is going to hit me. And I actually don't really have much shield left, so I'm going to see if I can get up here. He's going to do single shots, and he took me out. So I had no shield to really block him. And that's one downside to it. When you're in sentry mode, you can't back out. You can't jump backwards. You can't move backwards because you are very committed. And for those bots, 400,000 damage isn't really that much. So it's something that you do need to keep in mind too. It's not a lot of damage running that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run another game now where I'm going to run with Thunders once again. See if I can get onto a smaller map so that we could do a little bit more of a comparison, just so that I can get some more info on you for you guys, just so that you could make the right decision once again. It will help you kind of evaluate these two bots. So while we're waiting here, I guess we could talk other things about what I like and what I don't like about these two bots. So with the Raijin, as I said, it's very slow to get from point A to point B. Can take a while on a map like Shenzhen. Okay, so this is going to be a very close range game, which is great because I think this will kind of give you a better idea of these two bots. I'm in a Raijin right now. I'm going to move, I think, to the right side. There's a lot of cover here, so hopefully that's going to help. I can't exactly go straight out into the open. Oh, there's a guy with tridents back there. So with tridents, if that guy was closer, I wouldn't be able to avoid that hit. I would get hammered by those tridents, and there's pretty much nothing I could do about it. I can't jump, I can't move back fast enough. That's again the downside to running this bot. I think this bot, what really helps with it is actually the HP of it. So I'm knocking this guy's shield down, but you'll see when I get hit by those tridents, he's going to hit me now. So as you can see, he's hitting me. Again, I could put my shield up, and I think I'll do that just so that you guys can actually see when he does hit me. So look, if I face him, those tridents still did damage to me and there was nothing I could do. So he took me out, and I deliberately actually looked at him so that you guys could see that. Because many times, I'd be running a bot and I see in the comment section, Adrian, why didn't you put your shield up? Like, it makes no sense. You don't know how to use a bot. I actually do know how to use a bot. It's just that you don't want to keep your shield up when someone fires rockets or missiles at you. Yeah, there was a guy. I wasn't paying attention because I was busy doing a commentary, and that's why I don't like doing that. I think this guy's in a death button griffin, so let's see how much. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait for my shield to charge up. If he is in a death button griffin, he's probably planning on jumping over to try to see if he can take me out. So the more I get my shield charged up here, I think the better it is going to be for me. He might be waiting actually for me. He's awfully close. He's within that range. I'm not sure what he's doing. That other player with the Ansel and Tarantula really engage him. He's a rhino. Yeah, that was a bad move I think on his part. Okay, so I managed to take him out. There's another guy here on the right side with an Ansel. I'm actually a bit of disadvantage here because I'm not fully charged up as far as my Orkans go. So when I engage, I believe he's going to be able to block pretty much everything. And again, I could put my shield up, but guess what? His Tyrants can go through my shield, so it's not going to really help me. But I did that deliberately once again, just so that you guys could see why I don't put my shield up. It's better to have that maneuverability so that I could at least avoid some of the Tyrants. Like if I'm going to get hit anyways, I might as well be able to move. So that's why I do it that way. This guy is, I'm not sure what he's in. Trying to get some damage on that, knock his shield down at least, help my teammates. This guy here is in a Galahad. I don't know if he sees me yet. He doesn't. I'm trying to get as close as I can to him. Yeah, he managed to dodge. And I have to get behind cover now because, again, he has plasma. And even if I put my shield up, it's going to go right through it. So, yeah, I can't really engage him. I pretty much have to hide here until someone comes. So it looks like I can't even get through this gap here either, which is another disadvantage for this bot. But let me see if I can move a little bit closer towards this center area, just so that I could... Yeah, that other guy's also at a disadvantage there. So as you can see right now, again, I could put my shield up, but you don't want to do that because, again, it's going to lock me down and I won't be able to... This guy doesn't see me though. No, I can't hit him. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go into sentry mode here. They actually have... This guy's a good target. Yeah, I tried to get into my sentry mode, it wasn't quick enough, I got taken out. So you really have to pick your targets very carefully when you do use this bot. Like I said, it's very fragile, but if I had to make a decision between picking this bot or the Raijin, I would definitely pick this one over that. Okay, so as you can see, I'm kind of engaging this guy. I could put my shield up, but if I do, notice how he can still hit me, and that's the reason why I don't do it. So I'd rather be able to move around and maneuver myself so that I could actually avoid some of those shots, because if I had my shield down, if he was firing at me, I could at least avoid some of that, and you know, avoiding some is better than getting hit by all of them, so that's why I do that. So now I'm in my Ancelot, which is a lot stronger than, you know, what I was running back there. Yeah, these guys are scrambling a bit. There's a guy going to Saint, or thinking about doing that. Let's see if I can... Hoping he doesn't see the guy on his right side, because... Yeah, there we go. Trying to get him on the side because the side is where he's vulnerable. He has no shield. Then I'm going to move across. I'm going to use my rush now to help escort this guy so that we do get this beacon here. Kind of run in front of him so that some of my shield absorbs. We're going to get taken out by this one though. Yeah. So hopefully you guys could kind of see the, I guess, the advantages and disadvantages to the two. Once again, I didn't score very high because the Fujin and the Raijin, they just don't compete in this high level play. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix things up a little bit because I know some of you guys may be like, well, Adrian, using thunders on the Raijin, of course it's not going to do that well because it's more for medium or long range. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be selecting my Raijin. Actually, unfortunately, I can't even do that because I got an invite, so it froze up on me. Okay, so I had to restart the app. I'm probably going to just edit that part out. But getting back to the Raijin. So now, as I said, I'm going to throw in some Zeus here so you guys can see the difference. Okay, so I'm going to throw in the Zeus and I'm going to keep the other builds so that we could make a pretty fair comparison, because I want you guys to see both medium and close range. Again, for the Raijin, I think the strongest build right now is the Thunders, and the Zeus was the strongest build when I first tested that bot. Again, the game was very different back then. The meta has changed since. We're seeing a lot of Galahads, a lot of Lancelots right now. So 2 Zeus, I'm not sure how that's going to work, but let's go ahead and let's try that out. So I'm going to start with my Raijin Zeus. So with the Zeus, you want to really keep your distance. Range is 600 meters. So if I could get into position somewhat and then use that to my advantage. Again, I can't really... Yeah, this guy's gonna hit me. Oh, everyone's trying to aim at me. Yeah, so here's a good example. So I'm gonna actually go into a Bastion mode here. Something that you must know is if these guys have anything like Orkans, I'm in trouble because I can't back out. My shield's not going to block it because it can't block missiles or rockets. And as you can tell, these guys all have shields. So I'm basically doing very minimal damage. I could do damage to that guy, but yeah, he's just going to duck and hide. So yes, I'm trying to break this guy's shield. My shield's actually going to get broken soon because I'm taking a lot more damage than I should. And there we go. So it doesn't really make any difference whether I have my shield up or not. So I just dropped it down because I have no shield, as you can tell from the front. This guy is going to take me out because he can shoot over that ledge there. So at this point my legs are busted up and I'm in pretty bad shape. So I'm hitting this guy, his shield's blocking the Zeus, and I'm pretty much getting no damage in. I can't turn around and fire on that side because on the right side the guy's using the ledge. So that's how long I survived in a Raijin. The enemy is now kind of within our spawn area. Trying to see if I can get... Yeah, he's got plasma, and for those of you, as I mentioned before, when it comes to plasma, if you're getting plasma energy fired at you and you're in a Fujin, do not put your Sentry Shield up because it locks you down and actually makes you an easier target. So that's what you do not want to do. So I'm going to move to the left side here. I need cover. Yeah, the guy with Zeus that was hitting me again. No point putting up my Sentry Shield because he would have blocked me completely. I'm gonna see. I think this guy's gonna get taken out. Okay, so he got taken out. I'm gonna move on the left side. So the nice thing that I like about the Fujin is that you can actually move into position pretty quickly in comparison to the Raijin. This guy's getting hit pretty bad. They have a Lancelot back there with a Thunder Orkans, and my build that I'm running right now is actually a good counter to it. So let's see if I can, this guy gets into position here. This guy's got to get out of my way. Oh, there we go. This guy, I can't take him out because I don't have enough Orkans, and on top of that I was getting hit by plasma. My shield can't block plasma. So that's the downside to the Fujin. Both the Fujin and the Raijin, when you do engage, the downside is to the Bastion mode and the Sentry mode, you are committed. So you can't back away. You can't jump out of harm's way, and you can't really back up. If you do back up, you have to deactivate the mode first. There's a guy with... trying to see if I can hit these guys here with my Durans to get my damage in, because they're blocking me. Now I will go into a Sentry mode because I'm getting hit pretty bad here, and at least my shield can block some of that. So with the Sentry mode, once it's depleted, or once you have your shield taken out like that, you want to get to cover, because if you don't get to cover, you can't really charge it up. So I'm trying to get my shield to charge up a little bit here. I need to move a little bit to the... yeah, the downside also is that with this bot, when you go into a Sentry Shield, sometimes you can block your teammates, which can be really bad too. Again, I'm moving. I have my shield down. I don't have my shield up because, as I explained before, if you have your shield up, you become an easy target. Okay, and you know, there are some high level players on the other team, so that's why I'm trying to show you guys, you know, how these bots perform in high level play. You can already see the benefits of the Fujin over the Raijin to just being able to move around. These guys are all clumped up over here. I think, what are they planning on doing? I'm gonna go into a Sentry mode just so that I can block some of that. This guy's gonna corner shoot me. Do I get some? I might have got some damage in there at the end. Yeah, so when it comes to picking a bot, one should always look at the bot's maneuverability and speed. If it's very slow, then more often than not it doesn't do well. How quickly it turns, how quickly it moves around, that all factors into how strong a bot really is. And this goes for, you know, when you're choosing the right bots. And I think it's important to know that, because just that general information will help in you guys choosing the right bots for whatever league or level you're at. Ooh, this guy's actually, if I can get within range of him, I think he's going to be in trouble if I can deliver those Orkans. I think he realizes it now. Here we go. I'm going to activate my shield too, because I can at least absorb some of that damage. I hope you guys actually were able to see that, because that's a very good example. The Griffin death button. Ooh, there's a guy right here too. The Griffin death button came over from the left side above me and you know, pretty much nailed me. With the Fujin, because I was in Sentry mode and I had my shield you know, knocked down like that, I couldn't I couldn't protect myself. I couldn't back up, and like I said, that's the downside to it. I'm gonna see, actually, there is a griffin here. I'm gonna see if I can actually use this building, if I can, just to protect me. If it can block some of the plasma, it's better than blocking none. So if I can do that, that's better. Whew, that's a lot of lag. Got hit by a lot of Orkans there. So yeah, as I said, when I was on the side of that wall, on the left side, I got hit by a death button, but he was very strategic in the way that he did that. He waited until his teammates knocked my shield down, then I was vulnerable. When I saw him kind of jump up, I couldn't avoid it. For me to avoid it, I would have to get out of Sentry Shield, so I'd have to deactivate it and then move back. But by then, I'm already dead because, you know, you're going to get hit by rockets. You have to react a lot sooner, and it takes a few seconds for that shield to deactivate. And that's why the reason, you know, that's one of the reasons at least why I don't like running it. So in competitive play, I would not run the Fujin or the Raijin, but I think this last game sort of highlights the strength of the Fujin versus the Raijin. So when it comes to using the Raijin, in terms of the strongest build, right now I would say, I think for me personally, I would run Thunders. The downside to running Thunders is if you land on a map like Canyon, Springfield, Yamantau or Winter map, because it is so open, it takes you a while to get from point A to point B in order to actually do damage. If the other team has something like Tridents, Pins, or even Zeus firing at you, then I think you're going to have a hard time doing any sort of damage with the Raijin Thunders. With the Raijin Zeus, I was able to do somewhat damage in that last game, but because there are so many Lancelots in the league that I'm in the highest level of play, the Lancelot shield will just pretty much block it. So, you know, you're kind of left with a dilemma where, should you go with Thunders, should you go with Zeus? I still think that the Thunders might be the more effective build, because if I was going up against Lancelot with Ansels, at least with the Thunders I can knock it down for my teammates. With the Zeus, I'm not really, it's going to take me a while to break through a Lancelot shield, and in order for me to do that, I will need the help of my teammates. So I think for the Raijin, I would run Thunders. For the Fujin, I prefer to run Orkans for a number of reasons. If I'm running against a lot of players with Galahads, with Lancelots without the Ansel, then the Fujin can actually do some serious damage to them, because the Lancelot shield cannot block rockets or missiles, and you know, the Orkan here, as you can see, when I go into the descriptive, is a missile weapon, so we cannot block that. But otherwise, yeah, so if someone were to ask me, which would you choose between the Fujin or the Raijin, my answer is the Fujin, because the Fujin has speed. You are able to move around the map a lot quicker, which will help with you grabbing beacons. The weapons that you can put on the Fujin is also more versatile in terms of what you can put that weapon on in terms of other bots too. So like, you know, Orkans, you can run that on something like a Rhino, a Galahad, a Griffin, a Boa, a Rogatka. You know, there's more bots that can run, I would say, something like an Orkan or a Tehran than, say, a Thunder. So, I mean, if I ran a Thunder, I could put it on a Lancelot, a Boa, Carnage. You know, I'm very limited in the number of bots that I could put on there. So I think if I had to choose between the Raijin or the Fujin, I would choose the Fujin. But in all honesty, before you even make that big purchase, because it is quite a lot of workshop points, my advice would be to actually get your Tehrans first. And I usually say get 4 Tehrans and 4 Magnums before buying any workshop robot, because that gives you enough versatility in your items. And you can put, say, 2 Tehrans on a Griffin or a Rhino, and you could run Magnums too. So you could actually have 1 or even 2 Griffins with Tehrans and Magnums, or you could have maybe 2 Rhinos with that, or a Rhino and a Griffin with that. But it allows you a lot of flexibility. And if that doesn't work, then you could always use it on something like a Galahad or, like in my case, a Lancelot. So I think it's very important to get those Tyrants, because the deadliest builds in the game usually revolve around Tyrants, Orkans, and Thunder. So that's my advice. And, I hope this sort of a video is informative enough so that you guys can make the right decision. Once again, which would I choose between the Fujin or the Raijin? I would choose the Fujin first. And before I even get the Fujin, I would get Tyrants and Magnums first before that. So again, that is my choice, and that's my view on that question. Again, just my opinion based on my experience and who I face at the higher levels, my opponents. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this video and you found it informative, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe. And until the next video, I'll catch you guys later.